Welcome to another video by Dale Wheatley, founder at theoptionshunter.com. Subscribe to our channel at the end of this video and let's start your journey to financial freedom.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's 4:01. Market just closed. Anyway, but just taking a look at the highest time frame that has an effective divergence, and that'd be probably not the hourly. See, not the 30-minute chart. No divergence there. Strengthening, yeah, but no divergence. 15-minute chart, kind of a divergence here. So it's above the signal line and still strengthening. So that's pretty good. But really, the telltale sign is right here. When you look at where it was at this level here, price-wise, and technically it was down here, and it kept rising and kept increasing in value and strength. So this morning at 10 after 10, there was a pretty good divergence on it, but not the best. I mean, it's pretty good because it's strong, but this makes it even better when you have a retest of the price lows, and then this is more decisive. It's above the signal line and still strongly advancing. See what I'm saying? So that was at 20 after 12 today. So if the markets in their infinite wisdom show the same kinds of pictures at the same time, then we're on to something. See, here it is, 10 after 12. Well, pretty weak, wouldn't you say? Because remember, it's either or. Either you have the divergence on volatility, and then if the markets roll over in that direction, or the opposite direction rather, then you have something. We prefer to have them both showing the same kinds of ingredients at the same time. That's always preferable. But, when we see the volatility index that has a clear divergence, then all we want to do is just be able to make some money. So is this weak? Yeah. Okay. So here, look at the 15-minute chart. Is it weak? Yeah, it's weak, and it's right at the signal line. See what I'm saying? So that's weaker than what the 10-minute chart was showing. Well, not necessarily weaker, but it's moving in the same direction. But 30-minute chart, yeah, it's got a divergence too, but it's not as quantified, not clarified in the kind of details that we're looking for. But this one does. So therefore, we would take the SPY. This is about 2.5 or 3 hours after the market opened today, right? So there is less than 4 hours left in the trading day. So like I've said, for the last umpteen years, you trade the options under 10 cents, provided there's a pattern that shows the kind of thing that we're looking for. Let's see. So 636. See? They were right at a dime, and they moved up $1.40 shortly before the close. So that's 14 times your money. And then moved up to 93 cents. So that's 9 times your money right there. That was at 2:45. So about 2.5 hours or so into the move there, you had some substance. So enough to make you 9 times your money, or whatever, if you had held on to the rest of the day, so maybe more, but it moves up and then moves back down quickly. So, you got to be really careful with that. Whereas the initial move, you don't have to be as careful, because that's when it's just starting to take hold, and it's got to take hold some kind of way and grab whatever's going to be going along for that ride. So these put options went along for the ride for the 2.5 hours, and then they backed off. You see, it's not a difficult thing to understand. It's actually pretty simple. If you just see what I'm doing, I'm explaining this stuff here, but I don't need to have anybody explain it to me when I'm going through it. I just make a decision to buy and just hold it till it's done and sell. That's it. Don't have to be any brain search or anything like that. No, it's not requirement. See, same thing on the Qs. I mean, it's always struck me as rather amazing that you have the S&P 500 stocks, and then the NASDAQ 100 stocks. And as an average of the 100 or the 500 stocks, they have the exact same pattern at the exact same time. That seems a little peculiar, doesn't it? So why chase all the individual components? Again, it does not make any sense whatsoever to do that unless you have something like a Walmart the other day that was on expiration day and it makes some nice moves, it make 500 times your money. But anyway, this one here was about 577 almost when it started out today. Well, it started out at 12 o'clock and then came all the way down to 571 something. So the Qs were down to a lower time frame, so let's see what exactly is going on here. So we're talking about this here, about 12 something, about maybe 12:30 in the afternoon today. It was still trading at its lows because you have to figure these are out of the money, so they don't move as quickly. And that's good. It's good for us because we only buy out of the money, but if providing there is a good pattern. So those went from a nickel right there to 55 cents or something like that. So 59 cents. But here, like the other ones, they were 28 cents. So that's still 5 times your money or something like that. So, the SPY was a little bit better on most things, but who's counting? Who cares? Like 5 times your money. You hear what I'm saying? 5 times your money. Yeah, we've seen things that are 100, 200 times your money in the same period of time, but it doesn't really matter because in the scheme of all things considered, the thing that makes you 5 times your money, that's 400%. Who makes 400% even in a year, let alone 2 hours? See? So is the return good? Yeah, it's astronomical. Astronomical. Not as astronomical as something that makes 200 times your money in the same 2 hours. Nevertheless, still astronomical. So you just have to make a decision, and it's easy to do so. I keep saying it's easy. I don't know why everybody has so much trouble with it because it's very simple to keeping tabs on what's going on. Like, say, well, what's going on here? Why is the technical picture like this? And what this is increasing rather dramatically, wouldn't you say? I would say yes, because all we have to do is have information at our disposal that tells us it's going to make a move. Doesn't matter how much, as long as it makes a move, then you can make money. And that's what we're talking about here. You talk about even 5 times your money, like 5 times 5 times 5 and never make more than 5 times your money. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. You would have so much money, it's not even funny. And did you ever make 200 times your money? No. Did it matter? Well, I don't know. I'm still busy counting my money. Only making 5 times. See? So put it in perspective and realize how powerful what we're talking about here really is. It really is. I have never in my life, and that's 69 years, I never have seen anything even remotely close to this. Never. You can talk about all the cryptos you want and stuff like that, but nowhere in creation has anything ever made the kind of money you can make with these options in one day, or and with the bid ask spread so low, like a penny, and the volume extremely high. And that's what we're looking for. So I hope that's what you're looking for too. Have a nice day and don't work too hard. See you tomorrow.